Striking hotel workers at the downtown Hilton Americas-Houston plan to remain on the picket line through October 12th, marking the second significant extension of a historic labor action, initially slated to end September 9th. The strike began September 1st, Labor Day, as negotiations for a new contract stalled. Workers are seeking a $23 hourly wage, as well as, quote, fair schedules, fair workloads, and respect. Union officials said Hilton counteroffered at $17.50 hourly wage, a dollar increase from the current rate, followed by incremental increases over time. In a statement on Thursday, a Hilton spokesperson said the company remains fully engaged in the bargaining process and focused on reaching a fair agreement for both our team members and the hotel. If you have comments or questions on this strike, you can give us a call at 713-440-8870. And joining us now on Hello Houston is Lashay Hampton, a housekeeper at Hilton Americas-Houston, who is currently on strike, and Franchesca Caraballo, the Texas chapter president of Unite Here Local 23. Francesca and Lashay, welcome to Hello Houston. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Francesca, where are we currently in the negotiations between the hotel Hilton Americas and the workers that are on strike?
Well, today is day 24 of this historic strike at the Hilton Americas. We haven't had any meaningful movement in terms of wages from the company, hence why the workers decided to extend for the second time the strike until October 12th. Because the workers want to show the company that they're serious about their demands and they're serious about fighting for a living wage.
Let me just ask to set the table on this whole conversation, and either of you can answer for me, but isn't this kind of industry standard, this wage that's being paid? Other hotels are paying this and stuff. So even if you achieve it in this one instance, is this not a bigger problem we're having with hotel and service workers in general?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why this fight is historic. It's the first hotel strike in Texas history. So that's not lost on us. And like you mentioned, this is something that's widespread around the industry. I mean, the hotel industry is booming. Tourism is growing in our city. And the workers that make that possible, like someone like Lashay here, her coworkers that are out on the picket line right now, they make that possible and they're not seeing their fair share. A lot of workers will tell you we're not asking to be millionaires, billionaires, like the Hilton. We just want to be able to, not live check to check anymore, not have to pick up a second and third job. We want to put food on the table, pay our rents, and be able to enjoy vacation every once in a while. I can let Lashay speak to it a little more as well, but this is something we see this fight as something bigger than just the Hilton Americas. This is something that we're looking to transform the standards and uplift the working class of the city.
So correct me if I'm wrong here. It seems like the wages have been around $30,000 to $32,000 a year. You want closer to $42,000 a year, and Hilton was willing to go to maybe $34,000. So from $16.50 to maybe $17.50, and you want more like $23, $24. Is that right? Is that what you're asking for?
Yes, that's correct.
So Lashay, what would that do? What would that increase from what you make now, an increase of, say, 25 to 30% of what you make now? What would that do to your life?
It would do an awesome job for me because right now my husband had 2 strokes April the 28th. He lost mobility on the right side. So right now I am the breadwinner of my household, and $16.50 is just not enough for me to pay my bills and to pay the car note, the car insurance. I'm struggling from day-to-day basis. If I pay the car note, well, then I'm gonna neglect other bills like the gas, the water. If I make grocery, well, then the car note gonna have to be neglected. Mm-hmm. And I think the 23 would be more sufficient for us to live and to take care of our family and our port to have a fair wage.
Well, Lashay, I do want to read this YouTube comment from Here There. This person says, I work in hospitality and appreciate you guys making this sacrifice for the greater good of the industry.
So at 1650, and they offer. Why won't Hilton Americas, and I assume they're owned by Hilton of the United States, but why won't they come up a little more? What's the stick?
Well, I think I mean, we're seeing it everywhere, right? It's corporate greed. The working class, the working people are the ones that make these, profits possible, all this success possible. And a city like ours, Houston, it's really like, I know I've noticed that the workers are noticing because they're the ones cleaning the room, serving the guests. They've seen an uptick in the number of people that are coming to Houston, right? And they see that the prices of the rooms, of the food being sold is going way up, but yet, workers they cannot pay their bills on time. They can't pay their rent. They're living check to check. So that's why, workers decided to take this really bold action. It's a big sacrifice to go on strike, right? And this is day 24.
Yeah.
These are, workers have been struggling. They were struggling as is. So for them to, walk off the job, that says a lot about where they stand and where the company is at. So, we're continuing to keep up the fight. And I appreciate the comment from the YouTube comment too, because we definitely see this as something bigger than just what's happening at the Hilton Americas.
You may not be able to address this, but I'm curious, especially after COVID and the shutdown and all of that, there's a lot of talk about the profit margins in the leisure industry. And I'm just curious, do we know how is Hilton doing profitability wise? Are they raising their prices and trying to make this entire operation work to stay afloat, that they are, or are they showing substantial profits that you folks are saying, wait a minute, profits are coming in, why aren't we, in a sense, sharing in them? We're doing the work. Or is it a tight time for them? Just curious.
Well, I think we can see just by Houston First, right? They're the actual owners of the hotel. And, they've put out reports about, what a record-breaking year 2024 was for them, how they had record number of visitors come to Houston and how that translates into, billions of profits in the hotel industry at large. So, and that's another reason why we are looking to, we're calling for more transparency, right? So that we can get those facts and figures to be able to better understand the finances of the Hilton, the convention center, where we also have members. Workers deserve to know, that information, but it's pretty hard to find. And that's why we've called on Houston First for more transparency and call for an audit of Houston First so that we understand more those numbers and that the public understands.
So, Lashay, you're a housekeeper. Are all of the workers at Hilton America out on the streets? Did I get that wrong? Are you not a housekeeper?
No, sir. I'm laundry attendant.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Every department in Hilton, we are out on the street.
Wow.
It's not just laundry. It's not just housekeeping. It's every department in that building.
Wow.
So, Franchesca, maybe you can tell us, who is negotiating with Hilton Americas? Who is handling the meetings? What can you tell us? What is the Hilton Americas telling you all directly?
We haven't had any meaningful movement really from the company. We have our negotiators, right? And the Hilton has
who's
their
running?
negotiators.
Who's cleaning the place? If everybody's on strike outside of the Hilton Americas, what's going on inside?
Yeah, that's the other thing. A lot of guests are coming, groups are coming, and they're not seeing the same service that they're used to seeing, year after year for their, when their group stays. The hotel has been hiring outside companies like temp agencies to come and fill these roles. But obviously someone like Lashay, who has 21 years, almost 22 years working there, someone who's like just walking in first day on the job, it's not going to have the same quality that a lot of the workers that are out on the picket line as we speak have, decades of experience. So, that's how they're managing, but it's never going to be the same standard that guests are used to receiving from the workers that make it possible.
Lashay, in your 21 years of experience, has there been a time where you saw a pretty significant raise in what you were getting, or has it stayed pretty much the same over the 21 years?
pretty much the same over the 21 years.
Wow.
Wow.
So we have a comment from my British computer guy saying, how is it corporate greed? Surely it's a difference between skilled versus unskilled labor. And also, where do the current wages align with other chains? So what's your take on that? Is this, you're not walking across the street to go to the Marriott Marquis, I'm assuming.
Well, I mean, the conversation around skilled and unskilled, I mean, I would, challenge anyone to go do the job that Lashay does, right?
Fair.
This is a 1,200 room hotel that we're talking about. It's one of the biggest in the whole city. And for, workers like her, and I'll let her speak more to it too, but these are very tough jobs. I think this idea of skilled and unskilled is, it's pretty insulting, to be honest, because there's really no argument when the company is making their billions of profits and workers are struggling, right? Like the company feels that they're skilled enough to do these jobs, right? To make their billions, but yet the workers have to worry about putting food on the table and paying their bills. So I want Lashay to kind of speak more to her experience of how it is working, at working this position.
Well, like I said, I've been in the laundry department for 21 years. November the 3rd will be 22. And we first started off with 34 members in laundry. Then after COVID, we went down to 24. Then after that, we went down to only 12. It's a 1,200 room hotel with only 12 workers. And some days we only may work with 6. And the workload is extremely hard sometimes for only 6 people to even carry that heavy load when banquet is sold out with a lot of events as well.
Very good. Well, good luck is what I would say. I agree with you that unskilled workers deserve the same living wage as skilled workers. I don't see that as a demarcation. And I hope that you get what you want.
And we want to thank Lashay Hampton, a worker at Hilton Americas-Houston, and Franchesca Caraballo, the Texas chapter president of Unite Here, Local 23. Franchesca and Lashay, thank you so much for joining us on Hello Houston.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.
Now we're going to turn to Houston public media reporter Dominic Anthony Walsh with the latest news. Dominic, are you there?
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm here. Good afternoon, y'all. The breaking news is that approximately 100 unionized workers at the George R. Brown Convention Center will take a strike vote. They announced that just over an hour ago. They are part of the same union as the workers at Hilton Americas-Houston. And so if they do vote to strike, they will be joining this historic strike. And that would be 2 strikes going on at the same time at 2 properties owned by Houston First, which is the city's local government corporation for tourism and convention. So some pretty big news from about an hour ago.
Yeah, I see Lashay
Wow,
smiling
I see
on our
Lashay
Zoom
and
call.
Franchesca smiling.
Dominic, quickly, reading the atmosphere there, is it likely that this is going to pass?
So we didn't see all 100 convention center union members, as far as I'm aware, or at least we didn't hear from all of them. We did hear from one bartender, Chelsea Wyatt, who said that the workers want a piece of the success in Houston's tourism industry. She said they're often overlooked, underpaid, and they are there to demand fair wages. It's still to be announced when this strike vote will actually happen. Their contract expires at the end of the month.
Wow.
Excellent.
Dominic, thank you for that.
That was Dominic Anthony Walsh, a Houston public media reporter who's on the ground right now out downtown Houston. Earlier, we were speaking with Lashay, who works for the Hilton Americas, as well as Franchesca, who is leading the United 23. I did reach out to Houston First. We did reach out to them this morning, received a statement from them, which said the statement attributed to Houston First Corporation and the Hilton Americas strike. They said, as the owner of the Hilton Americas Houston, we expect be kept informed and updated on the progress of labor negotiations by our operating contractor, Hilton, as operator of the property under a long-term management agreement. Part of Hilton's responsibility is to negotiate labor agreements that balance industry standards, the competitive marketplace, and the need to maintain a strong and dedicated workforce. The hotel staff is, in fact, employed directly by Hilton. Houston First has a fiduciary responsibility to our stakeholders and is therefore kept informed about the progress of negotiations. We also reached out to the Hilton and we did not receive comment, but earlier they did send a statement to Houston Public Media that said Hilton is currently negotiating a new contract with Unite Here Local 23, the union representing some of our team members at Hilton Americas-Houston. As part of these discussions, we are committed to providing enhanced economic benefits for our valued team members, including wage increases and continued health and retirement coverage. Hilton remains fully engaged in the bargaining process and focused on reaching a fair agreement for both our team members at the hotel.